The newest expansion to Fallout 76, Skyline Valley, has brought some of the best, if not the absolute best, unique weapons into the game, and no, I'm not talking about that broken Holy Fire, because, well, the Holy Fire is in a league of its own, but what Skyline Valley did introduce is arguably the best legendary Tesla in the game, the V63-Bertha. Let's dive into everything you need to know about this masterpiece of scientific destruction, and once you get your hands on it, I promise you will never need another Tesla rifle again. This is the best Tesla rifle in the game, and it's fucking free. So now that you're sitting at your computer with a boner over this new Fallout 76 Tesla rifle, let's talk about how to get your hands on the Bertha. It's actually extremely straightforward, though not as straightforward as the Ticket to Revenge railway rifle that I just did a video on, due to RNG. This beauty can be obtained from the newly added amazing event, Dangerous Pastimes. Now, before you say, I've been running that event since release and I haven't gotten it to drop yet, remember, it's not a guaranteed drop every time. It's all about chance, baby, just like those other unique weapons that come from events in Fallout 76. You might have to grind this event out a little bit, so don't get deterred if you don't get it on your first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. I, however, was able to get it on my third run. Luckily, I know a couple people that got it on their first run, and I know some people that don't even have it yet. So in order to get this gun, you just have to do the event, Dangerous Pastimes. That's basically it. Not too hard, super easy event, and it pops up all the time now because it's new, so farm that event while you can. You don't want to miss out on it. So now that you know how to get your hands on the busty Bertha, let's talk about what makes this gun so fucking amazing. And firstly, we have to start with its amazing rolls. It boasts a 2-shot, 25% faster fire rate, 15% faster reload, and a secret double ammo capacity of a standard Tesla rifle, just like the Ticket to Revenge railway rifle. Now, sure, there are potentially better roll combinations out there, but this setup is pretty much god tier for the purposes that I use a Tesla rifle for, especially for tagging enemies during events like Radiation Rumble or Moonshine Jamboree. This thing makes tagging enemies a fucking breeze, so you could get all of the XP possible per event. Now, the 2-shot, I believe it does actually tag more enemies, so that's why this fucking gun is literally a Tesla rifle's dream. Talking about damage, being a 2-shot means that you can unleash some serious broken damage change. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, get ready because those enemies drop like fucking flies. Like I said earlier, though, I don't use Teslas for their pure damage output. I use it for tagging enemies, and again, the 2-shot creates a larger spread of the Tesla and more enemies can get tagged. And some of the best things about the V63-Bertha are the same exact things that makes the Ticket to Revenge amazing, and that is the skin and the cost. Just like the Ticket to Revenge, the Bertha is fucking free. No need to spend those precious stamps, farm expeditions, or spend any gold on it. Just pray to the RNG gods and hope for an early drop from Dangerous Pastimes. And again, every weapon in this expansion looks fucking awesome. They look stunning, and the Bertha on Bertha Tesla is no exception. I personally adore how the skin transforms the Tesla into a thing of beauty. For aesthetics alone, I keep this bad boy equipped if you're using a Tesla to tag, and if you don't run a heavy gun build, I would just use it anyway. My favorite thing about this weapon, however, in my opinion, is that it eliminates the need to roll or farm for a decent Tesla. I use mine, like I said, primarily for tagging during events, and the 2-shot allows for even more efficient tagging. The other rolls are just simply amazing. You'd be hard pressed to find a better roll combination, in my book at least. This is basically a god tier Tesla rifle, and if you use Tesla rifles, I suggest you go for it. You may want to put a vampires on your Tesla, which is completely fine, but the 2-shot allows for more enemies to be tagged, so this is literally, I think, a perfect Tesla. You get faster fire rate, you get a faster reload, and you could tag more enemies with a double ammo capacity, so you could not reload while tagging enemies. This gun is literally the best version of the Tesla rifle. I think that it is one of the best unique weapons in the game. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that this weapon is perfect. There are some things that could be replaced on this weapon depending on your playstyle. There's only one real downside that I found with this weapon, at least, and the other things are kind of just notes to add. Like the auto Tesla rifles, the Bertha suffers from durability concerns. It's not the most robust tool in the shed, but thankfully, you'll be farming dangerous pastimes anyway, so you'll be able to stock up on those improved repair kits because dangerous pastime gives 2 to 3 repair kits per completion. So you're going to hopefully be stocked up on them anyway. But just again, it's an auto Tesla, like the Ticket to Revenge. It's an auto railway. They're going to break a little bit faster. There are perks to basically negate this, however. And then also, just like the Ticket to Revenge, I thought this was something that you should note under the con section because some people think it's a con. Just like the other weapons in this expansion, as of right now, the Bertha's rolls are set in stone. You can't re-roll it. Again, like I mentioned in the Ticket to Revenge video, I prefer leaving the original rolls on unique weapons, even if they're not optimal, as a sort of trophy. If I'm not going to use it, I'll hang it above the fireplace or in a cool little spawn, and people can come and look at it. Maybe new players will see it and say, hey, what the fuck is that gun? I've never seen that before. Can you tell me about it? Boom, you're able to help a new player discover one of the best guns in the game. So can't re-roll it, and it has some durability issues like the Ticket to Revenge. Not the worst things in the world. Again, there are ways to fix these issues. That's why I'm considering this weapon a god roll. It can't really get better than this. So as you guys have seen throughout the footage, the damage on this thing isn't the worst, but it's also not the best. I don't typically use Tesla rifles for their damage output. As I mentioned before, I use them for tagging. However, the Bertha packs a punch when needed. It can handle low-level enemies pretty easily. You don't really need to worry about having this thing out when you're going through West Tech or when you're clearing out White Springs or when you're taking on Scourge. It doesn't really matter. It can handle its own against mutants. It's now my go-to Tesla rifle for tagging. Again, that two-shot, it's really a tool. The two-shot allows you to tag more enemies, and then you're able to get more XP during events. So this thing is extremely useful, and it is a must-have tool if you don't use heavy guns. Like I said, it's now my go-to Tesla rifle for tagging, and I'm loving every second of it. Of course, I wouldn't recommend it as a primary damage dealer against tough bosses like the Queen or Earl. It's no fixer, it's no railway rifle, but it certainly pulls its weight in events and skirmishes. If you use this thing, no one's going to be talking shit, no one's going to look at you weird, and no one's going to wish that you die. So it's a great fucking gun to use. It does great damage, and it still tags a decent percent of enemies on the map. If you shoot this thing into a horde, you'll be able to deal damage to pretty much all of them. So go ahead and fucking use this thing. If you use Tesla rifles to begin with, swap out whatever one you're using and just use this one. I promise it's going to be more efficient. If you're a heavy gunner, I don't recommend that you use this thing for tagging because there are better options out there for you. But if you use a VATS build, if you use an automatic commando build, a melee build, use this thing for tagging. I promise you it is the best tagging weapon in the game because of that two-shot effect and also the double ammo capacity. It's god tier. As you could see from the footage throughout this entire video, it's fucking great. So as you could probably tell from the boner that I've had while using this weapon, I'm absolutely smitten over this gun. I wholeheartedly recommend that every player get their hands on it. I even say that it is a mandatory in early game and late game. It's hands down the best guaranteed Tesla rifle in the game, if not just the best Tesla rifle in the game. If you're new to Fallout 76 and hitting that level 100 to 50 endgame stretch, this weapon is a must-have, especially if heavy guns aren't your thing. Trust me, once you acquire the busty Bertha, you'll likely never need to reroll another Tesla rifle again, so you could use those legendary modules on railways or on fixers. I use mine for every event, maximizing its potential for tagging enemies. Again, this weapon is not for pure damage, it is a tool, and I guarantee you'll find ample use for this beast too. In my books, it's the second best unique weapon in the entire game, just behind the Holy Fire, which is just simply broken. So pick up this gun. I guarantee you it'll replace your Tesla rifle if you use a Tesla rifle. If you don't have a Tesla rifle and you're intrigued on learning about how to tag enemies and what tagging is, grab this gun and just shoot it into crowds of enemies, and you will be able to hit every single one of them. Once you hit an enemy, once you do 1% damage of the total health to the enemy, you are now able to get XP if a teammate or if another person kills that enemy. So this gun, you shoot it once, you do 1% of the damage, and you basically get a free kill off of it. Except now, you're able to get double because it's a 2-shot. Grab this gun, you will fuck yourself if you don't, I promise. So there you have it, all you beautiful vault dwellers out there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the V63-Bertha, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more Fallout 76 content. Have you guys managed to snag a Bertha yet? Let me know in the comments, and remember to stay tuned for more tips to dominate the Wasteland. And as always, until next time, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Go grab the V63-Bertha from Dangerous Pastimes. You won't regret it. Let me know what you think about it. And in a month after you grab the weapon, let me know how much I changed your life with this video. I just want to thank you guys for watching. Until next time, happy hunting, Vault Dwellers.